At Blackfeather, a highwayman with equal parts love and lethality. Blackfeather is a flexible hero, able to build into a deadly weapon assassin or into a crystal warrior who offers strong team support. Though weak early on, he can become exceptionally powerful if he's able to get ahead in items. Instead of energy, Blackfeather spends focus to use his abilities. Focus regenerates naturally and can be regained quickly by landing basic attacks. Blackfeather's heroic perk, Heartthrob, applies a heart to his opponents each time he strikes them with an ability or basic attack. Once a target reaches full Heartthrob stacks, their hearts will appear broken. Each time Blackfeather applies new hearts or refreshes broken hearts, he deals bonus crystal damage based on the number of stacks already on the target. When Blackfeather uses Feint of Heart, he pierces his target with a powerful basic attack. Each upgraded rank of this ability also applies an extra heart to his target. Additionally, the target leaves a rose trail in their path, granting bonus movement speed to both Blackfeather and his allies as they travel along it. With Feint of Heart's overdrive, this rose trail also grants immunity to slowing effects. When used against an enemy with broken hearts, Feint of Heart will execute them, dealing bonus true damage based on how much health they're missing. With the overdrive, using this ability to finish off an opponent will also refund the ability's cooldown. I recommend learning this ability second, but upgrading it first and taking the overdrive. When Blackfeather uses On Point, he instantly extends his blade, slowing and damaging all enemies along its path. The duration of the slow increases with each stack of Heartthrob already on an affected target. If On Point hits an enemy hero, Blackfeather also recovers focus and briefly gains a barrier. The overdrive for this ability greatly increases its range. I recommend learning this ability first, but upgrading it last unless you're in an unfavorable matchup and must play defensively. When Blackfeather activates his Rose Offensive ultimate, he cuts through an area, landing basic attacks and dealing light crystal damage to everything along his path. During this dash, he blocks all negative effects and takes greatly reduced damage. Rose Offensive has 2 charges. Of note, upgrading this ability allows Blackfeather to use both charges more quickly in succession, and the final upgrade allows him to chain them together nearly instantly. I recommend learning and upgrading Rose Offensive whenever possible. In the weapon tree, Sorrowblade and Serpent Mask are great early purchases for single-target assassination, particularly when you're up against heavily armored targets. The Execute on Feint of Heart deals fairly low damage by itself, but increases dramatically with these weapon power items. On the other hand, Tyrant's Monocle and other crit items allow him to bring down groups of enemies. Since Rose Offensive lands basic attacks on several enemies at once, building crit turns his ultimate into a fantastic source of burst damage. Blackfeather's Crystal Path focuses more on sustained damage and utility, and alternating current is a fantastic way to increase overall damage output when paired with other crystal power items. This damage bonus works with both Feint of Heart and Rose Offensive, and the attack speed allows him to gain damage from his perk more frequently. Crystal builds are also well suited to mixing in support items like Shiver Steel. While crit items may turn Rose Offensive into a powerful source of burst damage, activating Shiver Steel can turn it into a potent area crowd control. Blackfeather has a weak early game, being one of Vainglory's more fragile heroes, and lacking a reliable escape until he learns his ultimate. On the other hand, he also does fantastically well with items, and the sooner he can start building these, the more effective he'll be. Combined, these 2 traits make him an ideal fit for the lane, where he can focus on earning gold while staying near the safety of his turret. Check out this On Point. To use the ability effectively while laning, Blackfeather needs to get a sense for when his opponent is about to deal damage. Even though our Blackfeather is at a disadvantage against the enemy Skye, he successfully blocked her attack while chipping at her own health, ending in a favorable trade. For Blackfeather, these careful early wins are a good way to get ahead. A little later, our Blackfeather is headed into the jungle to help his team. He uses Rose Offensive to jump in as Celeste goes down, then builds hearts on Koshka before finishing her with Feint of Heart. As Catherine falls back, Blackfeather slows her with On Point, but can't keep pace without burning his second Rose Offensive charge. Though they've secured kills on both Koshka and Catherine, spending these charges means he'll need to play it safe for a while. Later in the match, the enemy team has captured Kraken and is looking to turn their advantage into a victory. With Skye and Catherine first focusing on Arden, Koshka ignores the front line and dives directly onto Blackfeather. Once he's free, Blackfeather uses his Rose Offensive to back off. For any chance of a reversal, he can't risk a direct engagement with another assassin, particularly one with an item lead, but using a charge this early means he won't have it again as the fight continues. Arton has successfully held the base entrance and must fall back, but not before giving Blackfeather his vanguard barrier. With his second Rose offensive and a broadside from Celeste coming right behind him, Koshka is going to die. Pivoting over to Skye with his Faint of Heart, he quickly brings her down before turning his attention back to Kraken. In this teamfight, as well as the earlier jungle invade, there's a common element. Blackfeather had both of his Rose offensive charges available when they began, and he used them for very specific reasons. In both cases, they would have failed to pick up a critical kill if the second charge wasn't available. And although it didn't result in the flashiest of plays, it gave his team the edge they needed to push back. Thanks for watching the Blackfeather Hero Spotlight. Download Vainglory free on the Apple App Store or Google Play and join us in the Halcyon Fold.